The long-awaited Gladiator rework is here, and I'll be showcasing it. So, let's get started. So, it costs 525 cash to place down the level 0 Gladiator, which is the same placement cost as the previous Gladiator. Let's place it down now. Place it down here. The model has been completely reworked. The sword actually looks different, way different. I mean, the entire model is just completely different. And here are the base stats: 5.5 range, okay, 0.95 SPA, and 5 damage. The DPS is 5.26. And I will be comparing the Reworked Gladiator with the previous Gladiator. So I will show you the stats of the previous Gladiator, and you can see what changed. Anyways, I also should mention that my skill tree is reset, so there's no skill tree, like there's nothing that's increased. These are the base and raw. These are the base stats of the Reworked Gladiator. Nothing has changed. Okay, now let's see in action. Actually, let's spawn in some abnormals. See, it'll probably be able to deal with this, but I do want to see the swing animation. Yeah, looks kind of different. Actually, kind of iffy. Kind of leaks, but it's because of this map. This map is kind of weird for melee towers, especially since the range is pretty small. But yeah, that's it. Let's get to level 1 now. So, level 1, arena conditioning. It's gonna cost you 375 cash. SPA gets reduced to 0.8, and the damage increased to a 7. Get small bandages and this little shoulder armor piece. DPS is now 8.75. Let's test it out now. Let's test it on a couple bolts. Probably not be able to handle it. Yeah, nah. Oof. I could try on a different map, but this map kind of matches with the setting. Let's try it on. Try on a couple abnormals again. See if it does better. Decent? It's kind of decent. Let's test it on a breaker and a breaker too. Let's see. Still kind of leaking. Oof. I'm not sure if it's because of the placement or because of the map. I'll have to test it out. Let me see. I'm gonna spawn in a couple bolts and just see if it does better on like more straightforward path on this map. It still kind of does it iffy on it. So hold on. Oh, that was a level 2. My bad. I did not mean to get that to level 2. It's fine. So you saw that. Yeah, level 2. Warrior's Call. It's gonna cost you 1,250 cash. Okay. Damage gets increased to a 17, and it also unlocks the ability War Cry. Let's get it. So, other shoulder gets armor, and a helmet, an actual gladiator helmet. So, let's test out the ability Warcry. Same thing, actually. It's the same, kind of the same ability as the previous Gladiator, where it reduces the SPA. This time, same percentage, negative 65%. DPS is also 35.42. And yeah, it seems like the next upgrade is actually going to be really interesting, but I want to test out level 2 right now. Let's test it with a bunch of Breaker 2s. And I'm also going to activate the ability. See if that does anything. Yeah, it actually attacks faster, but yeah, it's kind of... it might just be this map and also because of this placement. I'm probably not doing it justice. Let me go. Let me go and see if this works fine. I'm gonna pre-hit it. Okay. Yeah, definitely much better than corner placement. But yeah, it's definitely because I placed it here and there's just not enough space. Only gets barely any, but yeah. Anyways, you saw that in action. Level 2 Gladiator actually hits pretty fast. Anyways, level 3 Champion's Flame. It's gonna cost you 2,125 cash. The Gladiator gains lead detection, pretty useful. SPA gets reduced to 0.7. The range gets increased to a 6, and the damage gets increased to a 27. It also unlocks Fire Aspect, which the next successful swing burns each enemy hit. So it does DOT, burn damage is 2, the burn tick rate is 0.3 seconds, the duration is 1.2 seconds, and the cooldown is 4 seconds. It also upgrades max hits, so the max hits used to be 2, it's now 5. Level 3 gains more armor. The sword is different now, looks cool. And the DPS is 38.57, but with the ability it's 64.29, and the SPA gets reduced to a 0.42, which is much faster than the previous Gladiator, that's for sure. Let's spawn in a couple of Breaker 3s and see if it does well against them. Most likely... Okay, it does decent. I think I should probably place down the Gladiator here and showcase it, because this is a much better spot to showcase than that. We just gotta wait for them now. I'll also showcase the ability in action to show you how fast the Gladiator can swing. Oh, pretty fast. Actually, really fast. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So, now you've seen level 3 in action. Let's get to level 4. Level 4, Centurion. It's going to cost you 6,200 cash. Damage gets increased to 57. The fire aspect gets upgraded. So now the burn damage does 4. And the cooldown gets reduced to 3 seconds. The max hits gets upgraded, so now the max hits is 7. And yeah, level 4 Centurion looks a lot more like a Gladiator now. Pretty good. Sword gets bigger, looks cool now. Really digging this new design. And DPS is 81.43. With the ability, it's 135.71. And yeah, let's test an action now. Let's do 1 Breaker 4. This is without the ability. I will actually showcase it here also. Does okay. Still leaks, which is not a surprise. Let's do. I'm just gonna do a couple bolts. Actually good. That was actually good. I'm gonna wait for them. Pass through. Okay. But yeah, that's actually pretty effective. So, my tip is to actually use the ability before they enter the range, because the ability does like place the gladiator in a animation, which does take a couple seconds to complete. So, if you do it before they enter the range, that would be the most ideal. Anyways, level 5, the max, King of the Arena. It's gonna cost you 14,900 cash. Range gets increased to a 6.5. The SPA gets reduced to a 0.55, and the damage gets increased to a 77. The fire aspect also gets upgraded, so the bond damage now does 7, and the bond tick rate is reduced to a 0.15 seconds. Duration gets increased to 1.5 seconds, and the cooldown gets reduced to 2 seconds. The max hits also gets upgraded, so now the max hits is 10. Let's get it. Yep, this is the design that we all know. It's on the update little tab. Gets like a very animal. It's like an animal head as the Dominus. Really like that design. Anyways, the DPS is 140. With the ability, it's increased to 233.33. The SPA is reduced to 0.33. And it attacks pretty fast. Definitely good. There are actually no max placements. You can place down as many gladiators as you want, which is actually a good change, because the max placements for the previous gladiator was only 14, so you had limitations on the amount of gladiators you could place down, but seems like you can place down as many as you want. I'm gonna spawn at a break of 4. I'm gonna activate my ability. Holy, that is actually good. Still leaks though, but that's probably because of the placement of my gladiator. It'll definitely do much better if it's on a different map. But yeah, that is pretty good. That is a really good ability. It does so much damage because of how little the SPA is. It gets reduced down to a 0.33, so it attacks pretty fast. It's I'd say it is definitely much better than the previous gladiator. The previous gladiator was decent for crowd control. I'd say this is actually really good for crowd control now, especially since, again, the ability reduces the SPA by a lot, by a margin compared to the previous gladiator. So let me actually spawn in a lot of bolts pre-fire. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. Okay, wait. Let me actually read this ability. War Cry. Call upon the warrior's might to temporarily boost attack rate and cleanse debuffs. Oh, so it cleanse debuffs. I thought it could just block debuffs. So I can't cleanse freeze. But what about stun? They might be immune to stun, actually. Let me place down a scout. They are in fact immune to stun. The gladiator is immune to stun. The stun does not work. Yeah, no, it blocks the stun. Like you can see it in action, it blocks it with the sword. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. It's immune to stun because it blocks stun. Overall, I think this gladiator is much better than the previous gladiator, since the previous gladiator was really outdated. It didn't have anything special to it. It was just a decent mid. It was just a decent slash mid crowd control tower. Now with the rework gladiator, it's actually really useful. You you still have to relocate it whenever an enemy gets out of range, but it is immune to stun and it can cleanse itself of debuffs if it's inflicted, which is really useful, especially in this modern age of Tower Defense Simulator. The the ability is really good since the SPA it gets actually reduced really low, so it can attack really fast. The damage is like it used to be like what 177. It's now 77, which is fine because again the low SPA makes up for it as it attacks pretty fast. So I'd say yeah, like if you want to use Gladiator as a crowd control, I'd say he is probably use no he is usable. Like he is pretty good for it now. Definitely good, much better than the previous gladiator, since now you can actually place down a lot of gladiators, and if you place down multiple multiple copies of gladiator, you'll definitely do insane damage, especially if it's in like a corner. But yeah, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure what video to upload next, but I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.